Now on CoastTV News.
A shooting in Milton and where this happened and what troopers know. Donald Trump back in Butler for the first time since the July 13th shooting, and Kamala Harris in North Carolina, what the vice president had to say about the hurricane.
And if you enjoyed the weather today, you're going to love the weather tomorrow. Tracking more sunshine, but a cold front is going to bring some cool fall-like air into next week. I'll have my latest forecast here in minutes.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Brandon Ferguson, and welcome to CoastTV News at 11. Tonight, we begin in Milton. Delaware State Police say this area on your screen now, the 28,000 block of the West Springside Drive in Milton, is where a shooting took place just before 1 a.m. this morning. Troopers say there is no suspect information available at this time, and surveillance video and images are not yet available to troopers. And we now take a live look into Dover from our Bay Health Kent campus camera. That's going to be Gateway Subaru camera in Ocean City, and Chris Mastrobono joins us. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening, Brandon. Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's been a beautiful evening. And after we had plenty of sunshine throughout the afternoon, we're going to do it all over again tomorrow. Here's a live look into Salisbury, where it is 57 degrees. Winds are calm. Humidity levels are pretty tolerable as well. And you can see not a whole lot going on from Maine down to the Carolinas. High pressure settling in, keeping us nice and dry and clear of any rain. We are tracking a front that's going to be pushing through tomorrow night, but that's going to just add some cooler air as we begin next week. You can see temperatures already cooling off away from the coast. We're at 56 Georgetown, 57 in Delmar, 59 in Redden, and we're at 58 in Milton. So we are going to be very nice tomorrow morning as well. If you're making your way out for brunch tomorrow morning, you could see a few areas of fog early. That'll burn off rather quickly, and we will see temperatures get up to around 71 for Rehoboth at around 1, but we are going to generally be in the mid to upper 70s across the area. So coming up, we'll talk more about our week ahead that's going to be very dry and very cool, Brandon.
Thank you, Chris. And Donald Trump returned to Butler, Pennsylvania for the first time since the assassination attempt on the former president's life. And this shooting also taking a life of one member in the crowd on July 13th. This is what Trump did when it came to the exact time where shots were fired 12 weeks ago.
At this time, it is 6:11, 12 weeks to the minute that the shooting began. I would like to ask everyone to join me in a moment of silence.
Vice President Kamala Harris is in battleground North Carolina today, touring the storm zone as the government pushes back on misinformation about its relief response. And we now know at least 230 people have died in Hurricane Helene. NBC's News' Antonia Houghton is there.
Vice President Kamala Harris touching down in Charlotte, North Carolina, meeting with Hurricane Helene survivors and receiving briefings on the recovery.
I came here to find out what's going on the ground, to find out what more we can do in terms of federal aid.
Like many disaster responses, the recovery from Helene is proving to be complicated and at times slow. 9 days after the storm, many residents here they may not have running water for weeks. Crews are still doing search and rescue missions, and the remote mountainous communities are still struggling with connectivity.
Our communications are down. I still don't have any internet at home.
The National Guard invited NBC News to see the challenges ahead.
We can see things that ground rescuers can't.
We flew over thick brush and woods, spotting collapsed bridges and roadways as the military and members of FEMA tried to look for people who might need aid.
We want to be able to provide some hope for the individuals that may still be out there hoping for help.
But the perfect storm of fear and a lack of communication has led to conspiracy theories about the federal response.
It just keeps getting worse and worse, dude.
Amplified at a recent rally for former President Trump.
They stole the FEMA money just like they stole it from a bank so they could give it to their illegal immigrants.
The White House pushing back.
It's just categorically false. It is not true.
In the last 2 years, FEMA has distributed more than $1 billion in taxpayer money to shelter migrants in cities across the U.S. But the White House and FEMA say that's from a separate government program, not for disaster relief, and there's no evidence funds have been diverted. One rumor that FEMA plans to cap aid at $750 has already made some feel abandoned.
People are going to need a lot more than that. The national response ain't been near what I think it should have been.
FEMA and the North Carolina Department of Public Safety even publishing web pages to debunk rumors. Despite those challenges, the mission is ongoing as families attempt to move forward.
I mean, it has been very challenging.
It's been the power out. We're going to have a generator.
FEMA is on the ground in Asheville. So far, they've approved 14,000 applications for assistance here in Buncombe County alone and given out $27 million in aid statewide. The Biden administration will not extend the legal status for hundreds of thousands of migrants who enter the U.S. through a temporary program. The administration rolled out the program 2 years ago as a way to curb illegal border crossings. The program required that those migrants have a sponsor in the U.S., undergo screening and vetting, and complete vaccinations. The administration says the migrants will now be directed to apply for another legal status and leave the U.S. or face deportation. DelDOT is starting new road work on Monday, October 7th. On New Road, eastbound will be closed because of Chesapeake Utilities will be installing new gas lines. This will last through November 30th, and DelDOT says drivers should follow detours around this construction. The Phillies and Mets wrapped up Game 1 of the NLDS earlier, and Phillies started out hot but got dominated by New York late in the game. Zach Wheeler was dealing in this one, 7 innings, 9 strikeouts, and held a one-hitter through the 7th inning. Once Wheeler got taken out, Mets players and fans alike were smiling because the Phillies bullpen would go on to let up 6 runs and 7 hits in just the 2 innings they were needed. 4 pitchers appeared in those 2 innings, and the only bright spot of the day besides Wheeler for the Phillies was Kyle Schwarber going 2 for 5 with a home run on the first at-bat of the game. Besides Schwarber, the entire Phillies lineup combined for just 3 hits alone. First pitch for tomorrow's game is at 4:08 p.m. And staying in sports, let's move over to football. We're heading into Week 5 of the NFL season, and we have a big one on Sunday Night Football when the 3-1 Pittsburgh Steelers take on the 2-2 Dallas Cowboys. Coverage starts tomorrow right here on CoastTV at 7 p.m. The holiday season will be here before we know it, and that means the return of Drapers Media's Bless Our Children campaign. Through generous donations, we do our best to make sure every child has a present to open Christmas morning. We do that by supporting charities that handpick families in need, and we are accepting funding applications from those nonprofits through October 18th. Do you want to achieve the American dream? Well, that'll cost you $4.4 million, according to Financial Market News and investment site. Investopedia breaks down that the lifetime total into an itemized list for a family. The most expensive item was retirement at $1.6 million. And next is the lifetime cost of home ownership at $930,000. Raising 2 kids, including college, cost an average of $832,000 as well. And Spirit Airlines saw its shares drop to a record low on Friday after the Wall Street Journal reported the airline is considering filing for bankruptcy. The ultra-low-cost airline faces a deadline later this month to refinance more than $1 billion in debt. Earlier this year, a federal judge blocked a merger between Spirit and JetBlue Airways, claiming it would stifle competition. Both airlines argued the merger was needed to compete with bigger rivals. A Spirit spokesperson has declined to comment on the Wall Street Journal's report, and the airline is considering filing bankruptcy.
Well, it's going to be a bit of a chilly start to our Sunday, but that will give way to sunny skies and a mild, beautiful afternoon across the peninsula. We'll talk more about some cooler temperatures where we're going to be dipping in the 40s. I'll have that coming up in minutes.
Angola road work almost complete. Lewis communities are breathing a sigh of relief.
I would never take a tax credit that I wasn't entitled to.
Angela Alsobrooks took tax deductions she did not qualify for.
Alsobrooks improperly took advantage of tax breaks she did not qualify for.
Alsobrooks claimed a homestead tax break for a townhouse she rented.
Alsobrooks is accused of improperly claiming senior citizens tax breaks.
She used multiple methods, which she was not qualified for, to save thousands of dollars.
No, I don't believe I'm above the law.
Maryland's Future is responsible for the content of this advertising.
All right, guys, we're going to Jason's for the game this week. It's going to be dark, musty, and cramped, but we got this. Bring it in. 1, 2, 3. Man, I totally forgot you got a new show home.
Yeah, we moved in a few months ago. Wait, where'd everyone go?
The snack table is huge! I can't tell if I'm inside or outside.
Oh yeah, that's fresh. Get a show home, they said. All of your friends will want to come over to the game, they said.
Take a look at the map on your screen right now. This section of road has been under construction since April. And for people that live in the neighborhoods just off Angola Road, that's been a real hassle for them. I talked to people yesterday in Lewis that are affected by this road work. Some are for it, saying it was needed, and others are against it, saying the detour is just too much. Driving by Angola Road on Route 24, crews are hard at work improving and widening this stretch of road. For the last 6 months, this project has had a major impact on traffic in the area.
Well, every time I have to go out to a store, to a hardware store, to a grocery store, we have to go, and it's approximately 3 miles to go all the way around and get back to the same intersection. So that's a lot.
But it's almost over. DelDOT tells CoastTV that it should be completed by the end of this year. When they're finished, this is what the intersection will look like. Ken Burleson, who lives nearby, says the work hasn't really bothered him.
It's not that big a deal. I mean, some people may be because they've got to drive a little ways around the block, but it's no big deal.
This is the progress so far here on the east side of this construction. Still no blacktop on the road, and as you can see behind me, dump trucks have been pouring stone all day here on the east end to be set and ready for blacktop. Things looked different just 1 month ago on September 4th. Chuck Kirby, who lives in the area and can't wait to enjoy some of the benefits of this upgrade.
When they finish that, makes it so much nicer getting in and out, and will help reduce, the amount of waiting time at the light. It's overreaction, yeah. I mean, I had no problem. If you come down here for the first time, it's inconvenient.
These cones and the traffic that goes with them should only slow people down for a few more months. It will be smooth sailing, or at least smooth driving. This intersection will be fully complete from Robertsonville Road, that finished in August, to now Angola Road, which will be done by the end of the year.
Well, we're marching along here in the fall season. Some big days coming up here over the next month, and we are going to have some beautiful weather this upcoming week. I'll break it all down, and we'll take a look at the tropics when Coast TV News at 11 continues.
The queen approacheth. The termite queen can lay between 20 and 30,000 eggs a day and can live for 50 years. And those millions of termites can eat over $5 billion a year in damage. Take your home off the menu with termite protection by Brazier's Pest Control. The experts at Brazier's use over 40 years' experience to administer the best protection in America, 6 times faster than Bates, with long-lasting protection. Call Brazier's now and defend your castle.
Honey, we have a leak.
Already?
I told you we should have went with Hershey Exteriors.
We don't cut corners at Hershey Exteriors. We guarantee craftsmanship that lasts.
As you see here, Hershey Exteriors did an amazing job on my roof. I'd recommend them to anyone.
With Hershey Exteriors, you'll get high-quality materials and an industry-leading GAF Golden Pledge warranty. Because one thing you should never compromise on is quality. When you need a new roof, trust Hershey Exteriors, because life is sweeter with Hershey Exteriors.
Choice Hotels is a family of brands with a hotel for any traveler you want to be. Like Quality Inn for the dad that gets every dollar and minute out of this family road trip.
The day is upon us!
Stay 2 nights and get 8,000 points when you book direct.
These hands create. All of the materials I work with dry out my hands. If my hands get really dry, I can't do my job. I depend on O'Keeffe's.
It's America's #1 selling hand cream for guaranteed relief.
If it works for these hands, it'll work for yours.
Also available in O'Keeffe's for healthy feet.
About 83% of homes have rodent activity. One of the most common signs is mouse droppings. Mice can leave up to 100 droppings every day. Don't mistake these droppings for chocolate sprinkles. What you don't see is more concerning. Mice also leave behind urine. A thorough inspection from a specialist is required to develop a treatment plan specific to your home.
Active Pest Solutions, your local pest expert.
For more information, go to activepestsolutions.com. That's active without the
Well, I'll tell you what, we had ourselves a picture-perfect Saturday on the Delmarva Peninsula, and it's going to continue into our Sunday. A nice tranquil evening here in Ocean City. We had the country concert here over the weekend tonight, and it was a beautiful night for it. 68 degrees, humidity at a tolerable level as well. You see those dew points are in the 50s. And speaking of temperature-wise, we're already in the 50s. Milton at 58. We're at 56 in Georgetown and 57 in Salisbury. So we're going to see clear skies. Partly cloudy overnight, high pressure over us and pretty quiet. You see, this is our front that's going to be pushing through tomorrow, but not a lot of moisture with this front. Just going to see a few clouds roll in tomorrow night into Sunday, maybe a sprinkle or two, but we're going to be generally dry here over the next really 7 to 10 days, as you'll see here coming up. 79 degrees was our high after a morning low of 56. Kind of low it can get this time of year. 29. Record set back in 1965. Record high 90 set back in 1959. So we will see partly cloudy to clear skies, some patchy fog developing through the overnight, but a chilly night. Nonetheless, we're going to see temperatures generally in the 50s, so waking up to some patchy fog, but it's going to burn off pretty quickly, and we're going to see wall-to-wall sunshine throughout the afternoon with temperatures getting into the mid to upper 70s. Wouldn't surprise me to see a few 80s on the board, especially in places like Seaford and Harrington and across the eastern shore, but nonetheless, a gorgeous afternoon. See 77 Salisbury, 75 Crisfield, and 73 in Ocean City. So Futurecast shows that front moving through, maybe a sprinkle. That's about it. That we're going to clear out very quickly, and we're going to see mostly sunny skies. Northerly winds kick in Monday afternoon, and we're looking very nice at the coast here over the next few days as well. Check that out. 68 in Assateague on Tuesday. We're at 66 in Ocean City with plenty of sunshine, so feeling very fall-like through Lewis and Rehoboth as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, there you see high pressure building in. Now you see some clouds roll in Thursday. This is high cloud cover from what is Milton down in the Gulf. That system's going to track to our south, so we don't have any precipitation to worry about. So as far as the tropics go, you have a couple systems going on right now. You have Kirk. This is going to be a fish storm. Leslie, far behind it. That's going to be a fish storm as well, but this is what we're focusing our attention on now. Milton, really going to be getting its act together here over the next few days. And in fact, the latest track from the National Hurricane Center, intensifying into a major Category 3 hurricane by Tuesday, and then making a beeline for the western coast of Florida. So this is going to be making headlines, unfortunately, over the next few days. Now here in the Delmarva, we are quiet, we are dry. Temperatures falling to around 71 on Tuesday. Check out these overnight lows in the 40s, Brandon, and look at that. By Thursday and Friday, highs only in the mid to upper 60s.
Thank you, Chris. And a survivor of the Hamas's October 7th attack on an Israeli music festival recently spoke out in Los Angeles. The attack, where Hamas terrorists killed 364 people and kidnapped 40 others. Reporter Jonathan Gonzalez shows us the story.
At the Sinai Temple in Westwood, an important conversation on the eve of the anniversary of an unthinkable day.
Since the Bible, and every time the Jewish people had a tough time, so we stay together and we always win.
Rom El Hai is one of the lucky ones. He survived the massacre at the Nova Music Festival, where Hamas terrorists opened fire, killing 364 people and kidnapping 40 others. Today, he shared his story with us.
To give awareness of what happened to the Jewish people in that horrible day.
Since that day, Rome has traveled the U.S. to temples from the East Coast all the way here to Los Angeles.
It's almost a year, and we still have so many hostages that still didn't come back from their home. For them, they're still living in October 7, 23.
In many ways, Rome says he still lives in that day as well. He worries about the possibility of a similar attack happening at other big music festivals.
Music is a universal language, and if it's been in the Nova, it can be also in the Burning Man, it can be in the Ultra Miami, it can be in the EDC, it can be in the Coachella. So people need to know what happened, understand what happened, and never forget.
Rome says he will never forget October 7th, and that whenever he speaks to a crowd, he likes to spread a message of hope. Hope that one day he and his fellow Israelis will dance once again.
Dance and celebrate life, and celebrate also from the people that unfortunately are not with us.
The conversation with survivors is one of many events happening this weekend in Southern California to commemorate the first anniversary of these attacks. Coming up after the break, how one organization is turning a tragedy into a good cause. That's up next.
With more than 25 years of surgical expertise, Dr. Julie Berry is now accepting new patients at Tidal Health Ear, Nose, and Throat Surgery. Dr. Berry offers specialized care for a wide range of general ear, nose, and throat disorders. Whether you're dealing with chronic sinus issues or require advanced surgical intervention, Dr. Berry is here to provide expert care tailored to your specific needs. Discover the difference that expert care can make. Schedule your appointment today.
Join us for the Top 50 Sales Drive going on right now at Preston Ford. With over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles on the lot, we're sure to have the perfect vehicle for you. Save big with 2024 models such as Escape, Mavericks, and Bronco Sports, all with options starting under $30,000. Check out the entire selection at PrestonFord.com. Purchase a Ford online and we'll deliver it to your driveway. But hurry in as the inventory moves fast during our race to the top 50 in the nation. And remember, cars cost less in Preston.
Here at the Delmarva Design Center, appliances, cabinetry, countertops, tile, and flooring come together in one showroom. We have specialists in each division, such as myself in countertops, to not only ensure you get the best product to fit your needs, but that your selection fits seamlessly with every element of your project.
When I came into the Delmarva Design Center and see that big collection of slabs, that makes really the decision seamless.
Delmarva Design Center. Great design starts with great inspiration. Selbyville, Delaware.
Sam Calagione here, inviting you to soak up the off-season at Dogfish Head. Swing by Brooks and Eats in Rehoboth for $1 wings on Sundays and $12 burgers and pizzas on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Next door at Chesapeake and Maine, enjoy Monday Locals Night with 25% off and $15 lobsters every Sunday. And our Milton Brewery, join us for trivia on Mondays and bingo on Wednesdays. Come explore goodness at our Dogfish locations. Cheers.
It was a mural meant to celebrate African American history in West Rehoboth Beach. Originally completed by the Developing Artists Collaboration back in 2022, but in June of this year, a car crashed into that artwork and destroyed part of the mural. CoastTV News reporter Kevin Zappe shows us how that artwork that brought so many joy is being restored to its former glory.
Take a look at this mural in West Rehoboth Beach. As you can tell from this footage, it's not finished. It's currently being restored by the Developing Artists Collaboration. Local George Pascoe loves to see that history showcased through art.
Absolutely. Good for the young people. Encourage them to do positive things.
The mural was originally commissioned in 2022 to help preserve the African American history of the community, but early this summer, a bad break. A car smashed into the mural, destroying pieces of the artwork first created by Terrence Vann. While it's a setback, the DAC is now rebuilding. Leah Beach, the founder of the organization, says they went right back to work.
It's really important to continue to preserve the original Black and brown community as much as we can. And so much of that is honoring the history, which is so unknown by so many people.
This new version won't look exactly like the original, but that's for a sentimental reason. Local supporter Diaz Bonville passed away during this process, and now he's being honored by being added into the artwork.
He is so well known as just a man that he didn't beat around the bush. And from day one of meeting him, he was just a huge supporter of me and of DAC.
The refurbished version of this mural is now almost complete, and that process has been made a little easier thanks to the $2,000 grant from Sussex County to help put on the finishing touches.
With the mural almost back to its original state, the DAC will professionally coat the wall with Mural Shield to ensure the longevity. In your health news tonight, we take a look at more people in the U.S. are living to 100, including former President Jimmy Carter, who hit that milestone this week. Ideas and ways to live longer, healthier, happier, and stronger continue to evolve. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has more on how to live healthier for longer.
It's a milestone more are reaching, and the number of people who hit 100 in the U.S. is expected to more than quadruple over the next 30 years. But when it comes to living healthier for longer, experts say age is more than a number. Instead, aging is marked by metabolism changes, cells no longer replicating, stem cell exhaustion, meaning they aren't replenishing as quickly, and declining immunity.
Each one of those hallmarks of aging, as they're called, is a potential area for intervention.
where you could actually extend lifespan by focusing on those things.
Dr. Sanjay Gupta says that while we do age a little every day, studies show there are bursts of molecular changes that accelerate aging, and he says they happen when a person's around 44 years old and again around 60 years old.
Those things start to change primarily at those ages. So those are ages where you should really start to pay attention to aging more than you normally do.
The CDC says healthy aging means making good lifestyle decisions and developing healthy habits. That includes nutrition, having a healthy, balanced diet, keeping our minds stimulated, getting enough sleep, staying physically active and socially connected and engaged with others, and managing stress. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The CDC also says living longer, healthy life includes keeping up with a healthcare routine. That includes regular health checkups, receiving vaccines and screenings, and managing any chronic health conditions. Now we take a live look into Dover. After the break on Coast TV News at 11, we have a final check on your forecast. Coast TV News at 11 continues in just a few moments.
It's a prosecutor's job to help keep families safe, and as state's attorney, I did so without apology because I believe anyone who commits a heinous crime or anyone who harms a child must be held accountable. I worked with law enforcement and cut violent crime by 50%, and as county executive made investments to recruit and train more officers. I'm Angela Also Brooks, and I'm running for Senate because I never back down from tough jobs. That's why I approve this message.
Whether it's a natural disaster or just everyday life's mishaps, in disaster's wake, there's only one call to make: Royal Plus. Find us at royalplus.com. We bring calm to the chaos.
I'm Kelly Geloff with the Law Offices of Tunnel and Razor. I became an attorney to help people when they need it most. Accidents and injuries can turn your world upside down, but you don't have to face the legal process alone. Our dedicated team has built a legacy of trust and commitment to our clients, ensuring you feel supported every step of the way. We aim to reduce your stress and be the voice you need to get the compensation you deserve. We're the personal injury team of Tunnel and Razor. Trust us to be your voice.
Okay, Dad, I'm ready to start learning about the family business.
My son, there is a lot to know.
At Imperial Granite and Quartz, we do countertops from affordable to exquisite. We carry full slabs in stock so our customers can see exactly what they're getting. And all fabrication is done on site.
We do things right.
Imperial Granite and Quartz, under one roof with that cabin store and Matt the Carpet Guy at the Salisbury Design Center. The perfect team for your design dreams, South Salisbury Boulevard.
Tomorrow is National Noodle Day. Noodles were first developed in China around 4,000 years ago and are now one of the most eaten foods around the world. You can celebrate tomorrow by raising your fork to your favorite noodle and use the hashtag National Noodle Day on all your social media posts.
There you go. I might have some pasta tomorrow, actually. But live look into Salisbury, where it is a pleasant evening, 56 degrees. Winds are calm, so that's going to allow for some patchy fog to develop overnight. So keep an eye on that into the early morning hours if you're waking up. 52, though, overnight. So generally low to mid-50s for most interior locations at the coast. I think we'll kind of hang out in the lower 60s now tomorrow. I'll tell you what, that fog's going to burn off really quickly, and we're going to be right back to where we were at today. Mid to upper 70s, wall-to-wall sunshine. Now, we have a front that moves through late tomorrow night into early Monday. Could spark a sprinkle, maybe some clouds, but by Monday afternoon, it's going to be back to the sunshine, 75 degrees, a bit on the breezy side. You'll see those west winds at about 10 to 20 miles an hour. And your first alert forecast is available at any time by calling our weather phone at 443-880-9100. And your Paul Davis 10 days shows beautiful conditions. I'll tell you what, Brandon, we're going to be very dry here over the next few weeks. And we're going to see temperatures struggling to get to the 70-degree mark by Thursday and Friday.
Thank you, Chris, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. Saturday Night Live starts right now. Have a great night.